In this lecture, we'll be taking a look at the introduction of Alpine.JS, which is a new library created by Porzio. And this library allows you to write JavaScript as declarative code as inline HTML. And its target is to fill in the gap between jQuery and major frameworks like Vue and React. In order to include Alpine.JS in your application, you can go ahead with a CDN source like over here we have, or you can also do npm install. One such example that we'll be taking in this intro lecture is this drop-down model. So let's copy this code from here and open up our Visual Studio Code. So here we have opened our Visual Studio Code and created a new HTML file. We pasted this code block which we took from the GitHub page, and this is the CDN source for Alpine.JS. This also includes support for i11, and here we are creating our first Alpine component. The first thing that we do is over here, using the X data attribute, we are defining the state. Now this state that we are defining is available within this div that we have created. So this button that we have over here and this UL element that we have both have access to this state. Now in order to make use of this state, we are making use of the xShow directive, and this is basically used to show or hide the element and toggle the element on and off using this @click away. So what we are doing is, when we are clicking on the button, we are saying that set the status open to true, and when the status open is set to true, we are showing this UL, and there you'll see drop down body. So here when we initialize the application, you can see open drop down button coming up. So open is set to false, and if I click on this now, it says drop down body. Now in the example, we were making use of this away modifier on the click, and what it does exactly over here, you can see that it says whenever the away modifier is present, the event handler will only be executed when the event originates from a source other than itself or its children. And this is useful for hiding drop downs in models when a user clicks away from them, and that is what we are doing over here. So you can see that drop down body is the container element which is having this away available, and when I click on the button, so this button that we have is part of the whole div. So basically it is originating from the children of that div where we have the X state set to open, and when we click on it, it sets the state to false, and that's the reason why it gets closed. So you can see that all the simple tasks like opening up a model or collapsing a particular div is pretty easy using the Alpine.JS library. In upcoming lectures, we'll be exploring more features about Alpine.JS.